That was fine, I think. But we're going to go through it, and we'll see how we feel at the end. Let's go. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy here, Apollo from Down, Down, Up, Up. And yes, honestly, if these are going to continue to be Saturday, my prediction videos are going to be pretty quick because I always like to wait until SmackDown to see if there's anything else added before I do my video. And even though most of the time there doesn't seem to be any more, I like to play on the safe side. Quick predictions video. But it's time to discuss the aftermath. Aftermath of what? Crown Jewel 2022. Back to Saudi Arabia we go. This time with Triple H at the director's chair, the captain's wheel, as you will. And we did all right. I personally like to think I was right about this show being the appetizer for the month. Because what do we have left? Well, we have AEW's Full Gear, 2 weeks. 3 weeks, we get Survivor Series, War Games. War Games! And I'm ready for all that. But a little pit stop. Let's go through it, see what we can get. First off, I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this problem wherever they live outside the United States. Do WWE just not list their pre-shows, their kickoffs anymore? Because this might be the third or fourth time in a row now, including NXT specials, where it's just not listed on the network, and then all of a sudden in the middle of something random like a documentary or a bump, the kickoff will just go on. Like, it won't even start from the beginning. It will just boom appear all of a sudden. It's weird right now. They're really neglecting the outside population fan base of the United States. So, living in Canada had that problem. Despite that, though, didn't really matter. Kickoff was nothing. I don't even remember anything noteworthy except 3 people talking in a CGI room. So, you gotta put kickoff matches back on, man. Otherwise, don't do the kickoffs to begin with. That's just my personal opinion. To the show we go, and a surprising start, if you will. I guess maybe Brock Lesnar didn't feel like sticking around too long, depending on how things go. We kicked off with Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, and this was good. I enjoyed this for what it was. It was very Goldberg, Lesnar-esque in terms of spamming the finisher button, the special moves button, because Lashley didn't wait for the bell. Boom! Attack Lesnar on the outside, throwing him into some stairs. Lesnar was a bit wobbly throughout some of the match. Lashley, like 4 spears, one of them through the barricade, but freaking heck, Lesnar kicks out. He eventually gets in his suplexes in F5, and I really love the wobbly leg F5 he hit. Again, that was so Kurt Angle-esque, and there's no debate. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle are one of the best pairings that WWE has ever had whatsoever. So a nice little shade to that, but it wasn't enough to get the job done. No, kick out of the F5. I believe we did see another spear. I don't think Lesnar was able to catch him for another F5. Lashley did get the hurt lock on him for a significant amount of time, but it was actually hilarious. Lesnar literally dead stares the ref for a brief second. I'm not quitting. Shut up. Hilarious. And then the finish. Well, here's the thing. I had heard rumors that we were not going to be done with these two, but I just dismissed them. I'm thinking this is a one and done. Brock Lesnar gets his win back in Saudi Arabia, and we move on. Well, I was part right. Brock Lesnar did get the win, but not via some screwy shenanigans. He basically fell out of the hurt lock with Lashley still applying it, like on top of him, and the referee counted Lashley's shoulders down, even though any kid could tell you his shoulders aren't down. His shoulders aren't down. Because they weren't. They weren't. It was stupid. But I'll take it because then afterwards, Lashley attacked Lesnar and put the hurt lock back on. And what does that tell you? It tells you that we're not done with these two. Now, I'm not sure how long we have to wait for a rematch. Because there's nothing wrong with this. It's Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. It's a money match. It's something people have waited to see, so why not give them a few matches with these two? I love the idea, even if we had to get a screwy finish here. But let's be honest, it's Saudi Arabia. If you're going to do dumb finishes, the atmosphere is perfect for that sort of thing there, based on previous WWE shows. So, where do we go? Do we go to Survivor Series? Do we go to the Rumble? How long do we have to wait before we get Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley? 3. It is 1-1, both via some very strange shenanigans. Will we finally get a third match that goes clean, so to speak, a clear-cut winner from the get-go? I don't know, but Brock Lesnar takes it here, and we're moving on for now. Women's Tag Team Championship match next. I felt so bad for these ladies that they had to follow Lesnar and Lashley. I just knew the crowd was going to be hot for that. And then, oh, who are they going to send out after? Oh, the Women's Tag Team Championship match. So shame on you, WWE. That wasn't a fair order. The match itself, though, was good. These four know what they're doing. They've had enough time in the ring with each other to build something good. And this was a fun match. Tried to duplicate the finish on Raw. Damage Control were not up for that. And then all of a sudden, Nikki Cross shows up. The new mercenary, so to speak. We saw Damage Control trying to talk some sense into her last week, and it seems to have paid off because she hit her spinning neck breaker on the top rope to, I believe, Alexa Bliss, and Dakota Kai was there to take the pinfall. So, boom, new Women's Tag Team Champions crowned at Crown Jewel. And yes, it's just a shame to see these championships flip-flop so many times now so quickly. We're just devaluing them. I only like that it furthered the storyline with Nikki Cross as opposed to just Damage Control cheating to win by themselves again. That made Nikki look good, relevant in the storyline of things. But let's be honest, the championship change on Raw to Alexa Bliss and Asuka was only to further give a championship change at Crown Jewel. That's all it was. Maybe I should have seen it coming. I don't feel bad saying I didn't see it coming. It is what it is. Shame to see Asuka and Bliss only hold them for 5 days, but what can you do? What can you do? Damage Control back with the Women's Tag Team Championships. Then we move on to the Steel Cage match. Drew McIntyre, Karrion Kross. This was good. The first part really scared me because it was incredibly boring, but then we picked it up and we did all of the cage cliches, especially with Scarlett. She stopped McIntyre from getting out. She maced him again. We had a Claymore. We had the back elbow, but there just weren't pinfalls. These guys were taking the heck out of each other. A great superplex from close enough to the top of the cage. You had to wonder, how is this going to go? But we did a nice little finish. We had McIntyre climbing out of the cage. Scarlett was trying to pull Cross through the door. I do love the double escape routines, but McIntyre fell out of the cage first. He finally gets a big enough win for himself since the failures of the last few months. And Karrion Kross may lose, but he did not get pinned, so at least that gives his character credibility still from what I know from NXT. It worked. I expected it. I have no general complaints with it. Feud's over. McIntyre gets a dub. Judgment Day, OC. Maybe this is one I also should have seen coming, but I can't help it. I was in the bandwagon expecting something to combat Rhea Ripley. But we did not. We did not. The OC could not bring any backup whatsoever for this match after a good enough little tag team match. Nothing too crazy, but all right enough. Rhea Ripley basically helped with the finish. She attacked Styles on the outside. Balor hit his drop kick. Coup de grace, 1, 2, 3. The OC lose to Judgment Day. Judgment Day wins again, and it is nice to see them winning more consistently. I'm still at a loss for really calling their matches lately. Let's be honest, my track record with calling Judgment Day matches is trash. So, you're getting me. You're getting me. We'll see when it comes to War Games what we're going to do there, because it's hard to believe Judgment Day are not going to be in one. Same could be said for the Bloodline, but we'll see. We'll see. Judgment Day pick it up here. OC need to rethink their game plan. It's very weird looking at this situation thinking, Carl Anderson left a New Japan Championship match for this. That sort of hurts from a perspective. Let's keep going, though. Braun Strowman, Omos. Fine. It wasn't long. I think that's one good call Triple H is making with a lot of the bigger boy matches. Big meaty men bumping meat kind of vibe, if you know what I'm talking about. Because McIntyre and Cross could be rest holds for another 7 minutes in both of their matches. We aren't doing that. Omos and Strowman, fine enough. The story was really that Strowman was not the big man of the match, clearly, but he had a bit more experience and a bit more luck because he caught Omos for that power slam, and that was enough. Braun Strowman wins, and that'll be that. I don't think we're done with this feud, unfortunately, because MVP getting injured and missing the show tells me that they have to do another one with him involved, so it is what it is, but it was fine. Strowman won. It was the right call. Moving on. Usos, Brawl, and Brutes. Another fun little tag match. This didn't, for me, have the hype that some of their previous ones have had, if I'm being honest. Their match on SmackDown, the one Imperium interfered in, that had something. And this one tried to grab a lot of that, just didn't do it a lot for me. You know, I never really felt like during it any time the Brutes were gonna take it. I had my small doubts on SmackDown, but this one, no, we were just gonna have a fun time. We did have a fun time. Good wrestling, good false finishes, great 1D from the top, and that's it. Usos win. That should be it for the Brutes Championship challenges, because Usos, creeping to New Day's record, will be fighting New Day on SmackDown for said belts. I am ready for that. Anytime the Usos and New Day lock up, you know you're going to create some magic. Speaking of magic, or lack of, depending on how you look at it, Bianca Belair, Bayley, last woman standing match. First off, no interference. Now, that was a surprise to call in this match. Wasn't expecting that. I don't want to say it because, these two worked their tail off for this match. 100%, 110%. Bayley took such a bad beating by the looks of this match. I felt so bad for her. But yeah, they tried too much. That was the problem here. The ladder match at Extreme Rules between these two really did it. I think this was an unnecessary gimmick match for these two, if I'm being honest. I feel like these two just one-on-one would have been enough, maybe. But we're saving that with the title on the line. Or are we? Because after a fun enough little back and forth with some nasty spots, the table not breaking really did it, and the ladder... no, it was the chair. I think it was the chair KOD on Bayley. Just, broke me inside a little bit. And the nonsense with the golf cart. Oh, man, just ridiculous. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just watch some of the highlights. It looks so ridiculous. But I will say one thing, a very creative finish. Bayley got sandwiched in the ladder. Bianca moved the ladder with Bayley in it underneath the bottom turnbuckle so Bayley couldn't open it and wiggle out. Now, yes, I know it looks like Bayley still could have just wiggled herself out and fallen to the ground, but you have to see how it looks first, and it looked meh. But it was new. It was different. I hadn't seen anything like that for a last person standing match. So fair play, Bianca Belair does retain the Raw Women's Championship, even though Damage Control winning the tag titles back may have swayed us. You didn't get me this time. You didn't get me this time. Bianca Belair still Raw Women's Champion, and I'm really not sure what we're doing with Bayley anymore then. 2 losses with the championship on the line? We'll see. There's always that one more chance. You always got to go for 3. Beth Phoenix did it against Kelly Kelly. I know, terrible reference, but that's just one that sticks out for me with women's championship matches. So, see how it goes. Then we get to our main event. Roman Reigns, Logan Paul. They put in the work, and they gave a fun little match. I enjoyed it. It wasn't too crazy by the looks of it, but it was fun and dumb, and Roman calling out other YouTubers and talking so much of the match was so damn funny. It was. But you knew we were going to get shenanigans. Roman Reigns and Logan Paul freaking do a table spot. I can't believe Logan Paul held his phone when he did the splash. It looks so stupid. Usos came out to help Roman. They notice Logan Paul's boys on the side, so they get into a kerfuffle with them. Out comes Jake Paul, another kerfuffle. Out comes Solo Sikoa, another kerfuffle. Logan Paul just gets distracted, and then Superman punch spear. 1, 2, 3, that's it. It's Logan Paul. He's not going to kick out of like 3 spears like Brock Lesnar, where it's a one and done. So it worked. It was good. Logan Paul put into work again. Enjoyed it. Thank you for coming. Good performance. Roman Reigns. Still going. Still going. And I'll say one thing that I wasn't exactly ready for. I forgot Saudi Arabia means no Sami Zayn. So it was just full-on bloodline for this show. And I think that's what helped everyone out the most. Good time. Good time. Excited to see how the rest of the month goes. Let me know, though. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the show. What were your ups and downs for it, so to speak. And what are you expecting in Survivor Series? Because we got to start thinking about that. See you guys later. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Keep it real. Acknowledge him.